Busy at the moment?
Yeah, we're very busy. It's we're often here at the Monaco show just meeting some of our clients and talking about the final deals for the winter season and doing some boat visits and things like that, wrapping things up. But this year we're actually, fortunately, sitting here in a position where we're effectively full for the year, which is great. We've got 1 or 2 slots left to fill yeah, I mean, it looks very positive for the season, and obviously we've just taken the facility in La Rochelle, and that's given us some extra options. It's a slight change in our strategy from being focused on La Ciotat, but we've been working in Marseille for the last year or 2 now, and we feel that we've got a system in place and teams in place to really learn how to work outside of our home base, and that's working good, and that's why we've decided to move ahead with La Rochelle to try and cater to this strong market demand.
Yeah, and congratulations on La Rochelle, by the way. Okay, I want to ask, we've just had some news about Lursen buying out Blohm & Voss. Blohm & Voss just won the bid on the dry dock in La Ciotat. I know you were part of the bid process with that. What's going on there now? Like, because it's quite a strange scenario at the moment, really.
I mean, it's unclear what the future is. I don't believe that Blohm & Voss have even signed the official agreements in La Ciotat. One of the main selection criteria for the Port Authority in La Ciotat for choosing Blohm & Voss was the longevity of their brand and it being a great name, and we were obviously in competition at the time with Blohm & Voss, and we questioned that they wanted this long-term vision of La Ciotat being safe, and the facilities the facilities in La Ciotat being in safe hands for the future, and we questioned that giving it, because Blohm & Voss was owned by a venture capitalist, that giving it to a company that was owned by a venture capitalist who's never kept a business more than 5 years in its life was a funny way to say that you were heading for a long-term stability. Obviously they disagreed. We believe that Blohm & Voss had told them that it would not be sold, which doesn't seem to be the case right now, so I don't know where the Port Authority stand. You'll have to ask them yourselves, I'm afraid. So,
well, I know that composites work stand at the forefront of a super yacht refit anyway, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like any of those decisions. Ultimately, the dry dock's been undergoing works for the last year, so we weren't able to operate in La Ciotat last year for the large yachts above 80 metres. Which forced us to move to other operations, and we ended up doing some work in Marseille, which went quite well. We were quite happy with, our clients are happy with, and that in turn has led towards us considering more seriously buying La Rochelle. So for us, we've been talking to La Rochelle for quite a long time, and it certainly wasn't a sort of knee-jerk reaction to the loss of the dock, but it was related to the fact that we haven't been able to use the big dry dock in La Ciotat for a long time, that we were forced to work elsewhere, and we've adapted to it and we feel it's going well. So I think it's a bit of a silver lining to the cloud that sort of came along, and it's forced us to adapt. It helped us to understand our position in La Ciotat better and how the Port Authority see the site, and it's been all positive, really, I guess.
To me, that stands as a testament to you yourself and as a company as well. To you want to expand, you want to go bigger, and then nothing can come along and stifle that. So I think it stands quite a good testament.
I think that we feel that the industry is strong. We feel that there's still a space. I mean, refit is really an industry that's pretty much in its infancy, because 10 years ago it did have a reputation for being like DIY type works on boats, and single van, people turning up, and and people wouldn't consider coming to a refit yard with a high quality Northern European yacht. You know, they just didn't consider it was serious. And 10 years ago, it was definitely, if you could afford it and you really wanted a serious job of reaching the same quality levels, you were, I would say, pretty much obliged to go back to the build yard or wherever to do it. And I think that the refit yards, quite a few of the good refit yards now can reach that standard that's required, new build standard. We're doing warranty works ourselves on behalf of some of the major names, and that effectively says that they trust in us to reach their new build standard. And I think that that's opening up the options for owners to do refit works, happy that their yacht, they're not going to compromise at all their yacht, and hopefully they're going to improve it. And I think that that message is really sinking in with people, and we're seeing that in the growth in the sort of refit industry. And you know, last year we did 20% more turnover. We hope to do somewhere in the region again, and you know, let's see, which is great. You know, very good.
All right, well, all the best. Really, thank you very much for having us.